What up, though? It's your boy Willie Styles in the building. Please excuse me. I don't have my lighting today. Sunny, you want to say what up?
Hey y'all, it's your girl Sunny. What's up?
All right. We almost thought we were going to get most of y'all because we are having a few technical difficulties with Facebook, of all people.
Yeah,
Most people are always worried about YouTube, but this time YouTube didn't have an issue with us, but apparently
Facebook
Facebook had.
definitely did.
Yeah, so hopefully y'all got a chance to see Sunny's show on Thursday. If you didn't see it,
Oh,
go
it
check
was
it out
Friday.
on Friday. Um, if you didn't see it, you should be able to catch it on Twitch before it gets deleted. And but yeah, it's over there. Other than that, it's gone because Facebook decided that it wasn't up to their standards,
They
and
were cheating on us
YouTube already got us on a strike from some crazy stuff like
a couple years
last
back.
year. Yeah, so yeah, we just took the safe route and deleted it there too. So make sure y'all go check out Twitch
Sorry,
to see the
guys.
show. But other than that, we got another great show lined up for y'all tonight. We got more shows coming up soon. Make sure y'all like, follow, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when to catch us. And but tonight we got y'all on all channels. So make sure you guys share this out so that we can get some views.
Yes.
And
I just shared it in a couple of groups. I shared it on our join the conversation group. If you're in there, it's there. And then if you follow me on my page, it's on my page. So you should be able to see us.
Yep.
There's
So
a
make sure you guys get the tickets to the podcast link live show coming on November
29th. It's gonna be
29th.
all black attire. So come in your all black, come fresh to death. You already know we film all of our shows. It's gonna be an adult game night / celebration for the Podcast Elite crew. We're gonna be celebrating us and our accomplishments. This is gonna be our fourth show. So if you missed any of the prior shows, you can go to BS3 Network to watch the first live show. I believe the second one should be up on there as well. I think we're the top streaming podcast show on BS3 Network. So shout out to them for letting putting us on their site. Super excited about that. But go to Podcast Link Philly Instagram page. You can see all of us. You can get in the you can follow all of us podcasters. Like once you go there, we're tagged in a lot of posts. So you can go ahead and follow all of us. If you getting tickets, you can get the link on any of our social medias. Where on Instagram in particular, it has a link there on the Podcast Link Philly page as well as my page. I share it in my story. So cop some tickets. If you buy a ticket to come see me, please put SWS at the end of your last name so they know that it is for me, that you're coming to see me. Also, Hank from How to Hustle podcast, and will be on there. So he might not join us tonight, but you could come support him, and you already know to put his name at the end if you're coming to support him. And the songs, it goes for all of us. So just let them know who you coming to see.
For sure. Make sure y'all.
Yeah, I'm
do
excited.
that.
I'm excited.
Yes.
And hold on, yesterday was our anniversary to our hip hop. The third was it? No, it wasn't the third. Was the third show a hip hop show? No, the second show was our hip hop show. This was yesterday was the year anniversary of that show. Show was fun as hell. We had that at the I think Crush Lounge. It was really, really nice. So yeah, that was our second show, and it was dope. The last show we did was birthday show in May of this year. So yeah, I'm super excited for this upcoming one. Get those tickets. Hey, Nye.
Bet it up.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not getting.
Oh, Nye from Lifey Life, and I just shouted him out. He will be there as well. So if you're coming to see Nye and I at the end of your
Can you
last
post a comment? I'm not getting comments for some reason.
No. I have my Facebook open, and I can see that he's watching.
Oh, got you.
So,
Okay.
yeah, I got everything going so I can see.
Okay, better. Okay, make sure I ain't missing nothing. So as you guys know, today was a pretty crazy day. That's the only reason I got a little worried there. If you don't know, there was a major internet outage today. A lot of services and systems and infrastructure was out. Namely some banks, airports, airlines, some people's jobs, right? Where we're all having technical issue.
Their computers were down.
Yeah, a lot of computer stuff was down. It was caused by a system called AWS. If you're familiar, it's Amazon's cloud services. So it caused a lot of issues. It caused a lot of pain, a lot of problems. I noticed. Yeah, I noticed when there was some.
No, I said I can't access FanDuel. I couldn't gamble today.
I know. I'm about to say, yeah. Dane was talking about betting sites. Some of us were noticing our banks were out. Blink, Ring, a couple of other security systems were out. So it was a lot going on. Let us know in the comments, how you were affected today by the AWS outage and all the craziness that was going on with the computers. The crazy thing to me is that there's so many things that happen when these kind of things happen. I remember, what was it, earlier this year, late last year, Facebook, and I believe it was Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, Twitter, and a couple others were all out. I'm calling Twitter. His mama named him Twitter. I'm gonna keep calling him Twitter. They were all out because of the Akamai outage. Akamai is the service that takes care of all of our pictures, a lot of the videos, not all the videos, but a lot of the videos. So I think YouTube was the only video service that was still up at that time. So there's a lot of these kind of services that piggyback off of things like AWS and Akamai and Microsoft and Google. And I think Dale was on your show last week talking about how Google was out and causing issues. Yeah, so there was a lot of schools that were out that use online services. They were out and having issues some time back, a few weeks ago. So yeah, this has been crazy with these backbone systems going out. So hopefully you guys aren't getting affected too much. But like, hey, if your money wasn't in your account, all that kind of stuff, shout out to Amazon. They're the ones that kind of caused you some pain today. So
Yeah, my sister said she felt like it's a test that the government testing us to see.
Oh, for sure. I mean, the government shut down. Let's talk about that. Just briefly.
They were saying, a lot of people I know work. No, I work for where I work, and but other people that work for the county were saying about the food stamps not being available for November, which is crazy because holidays. Everybody spend money for the holidays. They couldn't access. But then I just seen a post saying that they passed something so they could grant them people. They basically said people can't go without. So we'll see if that's actually true or not. It's a lot.
So that's what I wanted to bring up, because I was wondering, like, is this going to be a real thing? Because I heard the same thing about the food stamps and EBT and all the things that go along with that, if that was really going to happen. But like you said, they say that they are passing some kind of resolution to allow that to continue. Because I feel like they did that. Not the last government, it might have been the last government shutdown or the one before that. They had a similar situation pop up because of the timing they needed to do that resolution. So I think that's one of those things they definitely have to keep in mind, is that there's certain services you just can't shut down because people need their money, people need their food, people need their services. And, this government shutdown thing is definitely a political ploy or a political tactic and technique in order to get people's or get the opposition's point across, but you can't be affecting people to the point of exhaustion. That's just crazy.
Yeah, I was like, ooh, and it was funny because a lot of my friends work for Board of Social Services, and they were just like, they know that's going to cause people to come down there and complain, but like they can't do nothing about it. So they're like, please don't come down here and cuss us out like we didn't, like that was trumping them.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So hit us up in the comments. Let us know how the government shutdown is affecting you. Hopefully it's not, but I know there's a ton of government employees out there that are on furlough. It's a lot of people that are indirectly related.
My son's teacher just said that people got they laid off 100 people off of her school, like the lower levels people.
Wow. Okay.
So that was attributed to a lot of the changes within this administration and stuff like that. Like I had explained to somebody, I think we talked about on the past shows, this administration has been showing out, like where some people may see ups and positiveness, some positives in this administration. It's a lot of negatives that people don't necessarily, if it doesn't affect you, you don't understand it. So like we talked about the services with our special needs kids and stuff like that, where they had different programs that saved parents a lot of money out of pocket expenses for services, health stuff like that. Because a lot comes with having our special needs babies, and the stuff we spend out of pocket. Like I look at years before when I was afforded, like, yes, my income, I was completely denied Social Security, right?
Right.
Because they go off my income because I'm the caregiver or the primary or the person that's caring for the person that's in need of services or whatever. So he doesn't qualify for any of that. He doesn't qualify for the free healthcare or anything like that, right? Which plus I have good insurance. But with me having good insurance and having a decent income, comes the new administration and the new laws that they passed and the new stuff they took away, where I'm paying more out of pocket.
Right.
So I have people telling me, well, go apply for this, go apply for that. I'm not going to qualify for anything, because no matter what I actually take home, and no matter how big my bills are, they don't give a damn. Everybody looks at the gross income saying you're supposed to get this. Net income doesn't really matter, but even still, he doesn't qualify for anything, any type of assistance. And people are like, why? I'm like, because a lot of this stuff that they had certain things that helped us, but now those things are strictly insurance based. Right. So you're paying the co-pays, you're paying and those co-pays add up, especially if you're having services like in-home services. That's every day. That's not including the amount of services they need, because that's, my son can have anywhere between 3 people in the household for him. I'm paying for all 3 people to come. Mm-hmm. And if it's weekly and I'm getting billed monthly, it's like $300 or something plus the month. That's not including all the other bills I have. So right. Yeah, when you say that this government is putting some stuff and changing a lot, it's a lot of changes that are hitting people that don't really realize it's happening. And now this one with the food stamps, that hits home because a lot of seniors, a lot of people that need those stamps. I need food stamps. I'm never going to qualify for them, but right. people that really, really need them won't have access to them. It's crazy. Like,
Yeah, that's just unacceptable. I mean, if nothing else, that's something they need to put to the side or let it be unaffected by these government shutdown situations. Yeah. I definitely don't understand the what they call it, how this helps anything by shutting down the government, by saying, you know what, we're to the point where we can't agree on this, so shut it all down. Like, how does that help either side? Right? Why is that even an option? And how does that help either side, other than just to be like, oh, this is your fault or this is their fault or whatever the case may be. It's crazy to me, but that's how the government fights their battles, always affecting others, because the senators and the politicians, they're not experiencing any issues because the government is shut down. They still got money. Most of them are rich, most of them are millionaires. They could care less what's happening to the government while it's shut down, or to the people rather while the government shut down. So this is once again our government in action, showing that they don't care about the people.
Yeah. It's always crazy. Like even as a worker, it's like when, like, 'cause we were about to shut down for us. Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess for the government too, but like for us, that affects my immediate job. We worried about it in July, and it's always we don't know what's going to happen, if they're going to agree. If they do agree, great, and if they don't, then it's like the essential workers come to work. We have to come back. We have to go to work, and then the people that don't have to come to work, they file for unemployment, and then they're told that they're not going to get paid for that day, and then they get paid for that day, and then we're like, it's just a lot, because it's like it's very much crazy, and it's just like a waste of time.
It's a circus. It's literally a circus.
It's a shit show. No, it's a shit show. It's not even a circus. It's a shit show for no reason.
What up, though, Nines? It doesn't help anything. It's just flexing for politicians who already are financially already fully financially secure. They don't care. I mean, they seriously just don't care. If they did, they wouldn't allow this to happen. This wouldn't be a bargaining tactic. They're literally people's lives and livelihood is a bargaining tactic. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, because I remember the one time our government shut down and they got our then governor sitting on the beach in a chair. Like everything else shut down. Nobody could do anything, but he out on the beach chilling. So it's just like,
Exactly.
hey, like,
Right. Act, at least act like you feel some of this.
yeah, like, man, people are crazy.
Yeah. Speaking of things affecting people, this economy's been crazy. You know, I hate to still be on this tip, but this economy's been crazy. And everybody can agree that rent has gotten out of control.
Oh, yeah, right.
However, it sounds like there's starting to be a reckoning out there in the housing market and in the rental space in particular. And they're saying that prices are starting to drop. The last few years, there's been a significant. Um,
Where though? Because not in New Jersey. I mean,
well, that's what I was about to bring up. So that's the question is where, right? You know, so it's like our rent prices really dropping, or what's going on. And I think it definitely depends on what you're looking at. I was watching a video earlier. I'll try to see if I can find the link and post it. But I was watching a video earlier. The guy was going over the top 10 cities that are experiencing significant rental decreases. Some of the cities in that top 10 were Austin, Texas. New York City was one of the number one cities experiencing this. I think it was Seattle and a couple of others. And so I just looked up an article just now, and it was talking about rental prices in places like San Diego and what's the name of that? San Diego, Birmingham. San Diego is seeing rent go down by 6%. At Birmingham, Alabama, 5.4%, 4% decrease in Denver. So, you know, a lot of people is 4%, 5% is not really helpful, but it is showing a trend, right? It's showing a trend of, you know, continuing drops in rent prices. Florida is one of those other significant ones. They were talking about Miami, Florida, and how, you know, there's units for purchase and units for rent dropping in the thousands. There was a apartment complex, a luxury apartment complex that dropped over $1,000 with no security deposit on their rents. But you know, the average American can't even afford the lower rent in a place like that, where rent is still, you know, $2,000 and $3,000 a month, versus, you know, you could get something a little bit more reasonable at $1,400, $1,500. But you know, do you think that this is one of those things that we'll continue to see with the influx of additional new units, with the continuing economy being as bad as it is, and people not really even wanting to go out and buy new homes or rent new places? Do you think we'll continue to see these drops and hopefully see something significant enough that makes it more reasonable or realistic for people?
I don't know, because I feel like, like I said, when you rent places, that means they have an owner, right?
Yeah.
In my city, and on top of that, I'm an owner. I own my house. It's crazy because it depends. Like, so in my city, particular, our taxes are probably higher. Depending on where you go within the city or out on the outskirts of the city, depending on where you go, it may be higher property tax, right? On top of that, a lot of our taxes got raised because we work from home. The businesses are not thriving like they are. So that, like, the sales tax is not necessarily getting it. So property tax is where it's at. So it's crazy because my mortgage went from a certain amount to essentially an $800 increase.
Oh, dang. That's crazy.
So, and as an owner, so I look at it like, even though I feel like the rental tax is high, I get it because ownership is high. Like, the way our taxes skyrocketed because, you know, when they do the recalculations in October,
right,
and you get what your new mortgage rate is going to be in December. And like, I went to work, and I remember I talked to a couple of coworkers that own homes, and my one of my coworkers, they had like a significant jump like mine did. and he lived in a whole different town in New Jersey, right?
Right.
And he was like, yeah, mine's jumped almost this much. And so if in Jersey in particular, because it jumps up so high, I can imagine that if I rented my house out, if I moved and rented it out, I'm paying almost $800, well, basically $800 increase than what I was paying. So if I wanted to profit, I would have to sell it for more than what the mortgage is for.
All right.
So if the mortgage is like over close to 3 stacks, that's what I'm going to be charging that for the amount of bedrooms and stuff like that. Like, you know, so those things come into factor. Even in Jersey, to get a 1-bedroom in Jersey, you're paying close to almost $2,000 for a 1-bedroom in some places.
Oh, wow.
And it's not even in a great neighborhood, right? So imagine when you go out to the townships. Like, that's why I said Jersey is high. And I had this conversation with my son's teacher. We were talking, and a couple of my coworkers. It's like, even if you make a decent amount, you're struggling. Like, it's not, and I can guarantee as a renter to not only be paying something like that is crazy, because at one point I was paying less than people renting, right?
Right. And
you know, homeowners were renting out properties and making money, like charging you $800, and my mortgage was probably like $800 or $1,000. Right? I'm not 800, but 1,800 or something like that. Just coming up with some extra cash and not having to dig in your pockets for, you know, rent. Now I'm having to dig all the way in your pockets because I'm coming out of my pockets, not including insurance and all those other things you have to have for your properties. So it's like I would love for the prices to be able to go down, but in order for that to go down, I think the taxes need to go down. And unfortunately, like, as somebody that works in the type of job I work, and like people, and like we're having this conversation about us having to come back full time. It might be a reality because that's the only way it's going to save money as far as the housing and renting, because now we're making up the deficit by the sales tax versus property tax, right?
Gotcha. Yeah.
So you see within our towns, businesses going out of business. They're not even lasting long because depending on the work from home days that most people have, like the majority of the time people are working from home is on these certain days. So there's no business where you could thrive on certain days. You're not thriving. So if the 2-day work week is the 2 days from home and the 3 days we're in the office, but depending on how your business is, you're not making that much money.
Right.
Because
there's a big push here for the same thing with the return to office.
Yeah, and that's where we're like, as much as I would love to continue to work from home. This is why when you have like, and they'll say, somebody asked that on Facebook, hey y'all, how do y'all feel about going have to come back to work 5 days? And as much as I don't like it, I understand it. But at the same time, and maybe it'll work out on that end type of situation. But then again, who knows? Like, I mean, I think the rental prices is crazy, ridiculous. Like it's almost like living in New York. In New York, it's like you paying $2,000 for a piece of box. Like, you ain't even paying, you're not paying for nothing major. Like you living in a hole in the wall and paying almost over $2,000 to stay in New York, depending on what part of New York you're staying in. And so you have to kind of branch out. And a lot of people that I know work in New York don't even live in New York because it's too high. So it's like those situations where you see those big cities got those big ticket places, and it's not, and it's ridiculous, you know. And it's like you really got to be making money, but some of the cities you're not making money. This is why you say everybody move south. But even down south is getting a little bit more.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, look here, we got Raleigh, North Carolina on this list. They've seen significant increases over the years.
I remember when you could move down south and pay $700 for like a mansion almost.
Right. Not anymore.
I mean, not anymore. The pay is not equal to up here, up in the cities, but the space you're going to get down further south is probably the enticing part. But it's just like, it's a lot. Like it's crazy. Now I want to go down and be normal, like, you know, or raise how much people get paid for work, because like you're not making it.
Well, that's one of the big problems, right? Because we're seeing income not keeping up with these rental prices, not keeping up with the food increased food prices, people getting laid off, people getting terminated, and not being able to afford these higher prices on living expenses. So
Yeah.
I think that's another big problem, because if you're laying off people constantly, people are feeling like they don't have a choice but to cut back their spending, cut back their living expenses. So they're not going to be buying or renting homes at the rate they were before. They were talking about how like young people on the West Coast, rather, like in San Diego, Sacramento, the Silicon Valley, all that kind of stuff, how they're no longer looking for their own places. They're trying to stay home, or they're trying to
and even in Jersey, you got more people. Like I can go next to my neighbors, they're Hispanic, and I like these Hispanic people have they're a match. They be living together, making it work,
I'll say
because
make it
bills
work.
be
Yeah.
billing. And as much as we like key about that, it makes sense because they're not financially struggling. It's like 7 of them in a however many bedroom house making it work because it's real out here. And like now we're seeing people do that. Like I've seen people, black and brown people start moving in together and saving money because it makes sense. My brother always says to us every time we talk to him, I just talked to him. He always saying, let's buy like a piece of land and build property on it, and we all just live together because
a family compound.
He always talking that, and we be like, whatever. And like separately, we all paying almost over $2,000 in rent or mortgage.
And
it's like, why not? Like, yes, it sounds crazy. I don't want to look at people and like where we grew up, like we grow up and where we're like, we want our own space. We like our own space. We don't like to deal with a bunch of people. But it's like, do I like my own space, or how can I just shut the hell up and go live with people for a little bit and save some money? Because it's it's real out here. And it's not.
And it's definitely something to consider, especially in certain areas where, like you said, it's not worth it to live in or to rent a place for $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month when you and your family can kind of create your own space and like you say, save money, $500-$600 a month instead of $2,000. Definitely is life changing.
Yeah, that's why I said like I'm. That's why I told my son teacher. I said I'm blessed enough to be able to afford my house right now. I can't wait till the end of this, till close to the end of this month when I can see what they if the taxes and stuff went down, so I could get it together and won't have to pay as much as I've been paying, because yes, I can afford it, but like it's a struggle. It's like you do things to kind of make sure you have, and like I'm used to always having enough sits put aside that I could, if something happens, I could function as a normal person. Now I'm over here like. It's real. Like my refrigerator just died. We just got the little what's it called? Anchor check. I don't know if y'all get them in Detroit, but we just got an anchor check.
Oh, no, we don't get that.
All right, so we get like for I guess when you do your taxes, like had a household situation thing, or like if you rent, you get like $500, and if you own, you get a little bit more. Well, you get like 15 if you own, and then you get like, I think it's 5 or something, or depending on something, you get a certain amount. I think it's 500, but I'm not sure. And it was, I cracked up because I'm like, yo, my house heard that I was coming into something. So as soon as it did, my refrigerator was like, mind you, I had just went grocery shopping, spent like almost $300 in groceries. My refrigerator died, wouldn't keep nothing cold. I had to throw half my groceries away. And my freezer was working, so I couldn't really open it. And then it was like almost $400 to fix. And I had to survive a weekend, which, like I said, I had to throw food away. And here's like, after paying some bills, it's like, here, y'all had the rest of this. I can't even enjoy it and put it for something I wanted to put it for. It was like, it had to pay this to get done because, refrigerator dies. It's like, and I'm like, thankfully I was able to get it repaired, because then I had to buy a whole new refrigerator. I'm like, this is like, you really can't, like, and where I'm used to being able to be comfortable enough that I have money aside and I can, if something happens, I can pay something and still have money put away. This ain't that. Like, it's a struggle for everybody. So I would hope that at some point it changes, because food costs, everything costs $1 million. Like, I remember I used to spend $200. I'm spending close to $300, and then not leaving with, when you say how much when you look at the receipt and see how many items you left with, I know times I bought 25 items and spent on under 200. Now it's not that. So it's just like, everything costs, the cost of living, the cost of food, everything is high as hell. Nothing is at a good price anymore. Like I remember when we used to buy the little Debbie cakes for 50 cents. They $1.25 now. No, actually they were 25 cents when I was growing up. Now they're $1.25. $1.25, I believe. I'm like, everything. You can't, like, it's just everything costs $1 million.
Yeah, it's sad because people, like you say, people cannot afford it, and they're not making it any easier. Continuing to run these prices up. So
yeah, and if you cook, everything costs.
Right. Yeah, me and my wife talk about that all the time.
Chicken wings is now like
cooking sometimes isn't even any cheaper because we got you got to buy all the ingredients and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, chicken wings. A pack of chicken wings, family pack is almost like $20, if not $20 plus dollars to get a family size pack of chicken wings.
Yeah, it's
crazy. I'm about to have a farm in my backyard, man. This is real. Chickens, everything.
All right, well, let's move on to something a little more fun. I saw this post today on Martin's page and Martin Lawrence, and he asked a pretty compelling question. He said, "Which character from the Martin Show should have had a bigger role?" So we got let's see, we got Brubman on here. We got the Yuso Almondy guy, Varnell Hill, Ricky Fontaine, Leon, Lonnie Love. I think that was the Reverend. Hustle Man.
Lonnie Love. Oh yeah. Oh my God. That reminds me of somebody always saying that.
Yeah, Miss Jerry and Nipsey. Who do you think should have had a bigger role in the Martin Show?
If I had to pick anybody, I'm saying Hustle Man.
Okay.
Because Brubman had just the right amount. Vernell, he a hit or miss for me. The Omni guy wasn't a big deal for me. Ricky Fontaine, I liked him too. Lonnie Love was hilarious, so we could always have some more of him. I would say it had to be. Nipsey played his part. He was not nobody important. He was the place they went to. That's like asking Gunther to have a bigger role. No, it's just you Nipsey, you good. I think Hustle Man was you could always put him in something, trying to sell something. I could see him just almost in everything, just popping out of nowhere with something. And Lonnie Love was hilarious. But yeah, Brubman, I think I like Brubman. I like when he showed up and just random.
I used to love the most random stuff. I recently finally saw another Brubman episode that I had never seen before. It was during the time when Martin and Gina were kind of on the outs because of some stuff going on in his life, and he ended up losing his job at the radio station. So he had to take on a bunch of like odd jobs and stuff.
The floor buffer.
Yeah, he was the floor buffer. Yeah. And then by the end of the episode, he had gotten a call that Gina, of course, lined up for him from a TV station. And so he had to go do an interview at the TV station. And he pulled up in there and Brubman's there for the same interview. And it was hilarious because Brubman, like, what in the heck is Brubman
what are you doing there? See, now you're going to make me want to see that episode because I got to refresh my memory. I'm pretty sure I saw it. I love Brubman. Yeah,
Brubman was definitely a staple in that show. He had like you say, he had a pretty good part, pretty big role. And I couldn't imagine him having a bigger role because then I think it would have taken away some of
from who he was. I feel like his essence was to be the random, like the one you didn't expect, just showing up out of nowhere. Like, what in the hell? Like, it couldn't be. Like, that's why I say, like,
the episode when he showed up with the sandwich. And I think Mark was trying to go to bed, and Brubman was in the kitchen making the sandwich.
Yeah,
and then climbed up out the window. I was crying. Like, bro, what are you doing there, bro, man?
Yeah. That's why I say gotta be Hustle Man, because I could see Hustle Man just randomly in there trying to sell something, because that's what Hustle Man is. He popping up randomly and like, hey, I got this, like, with you, because it just gives me, like, you could see him at any given moment. So his part could always be bigger because you could see him just at the most randomest shit, like even popping up at the TV show trying to sell something. Like, I could just see him, and even at the wedding trying to show up and sell something. Like, Hustle Man, how you get, like, I could just see him popping up
right
in there randomly. Lonnie Love, because a little with sprinkles more of him, but yeah, bro, man, I think he was the perfect amount. I think Nipsey was as
now.
well. Miss Jerry,
If they could have got Lonnie Love to
to do the
make
wedding.
to make some house. Oh, the wedding, yeah, the wedding would have been a dope one too. But if they could have got him to do a couple more, like a couple of house calls, that would have been dope.
Yeah,
I think it would have been funny. You know, he just maybe going around getting some offerings or anytime Martin's mama showed up, maybe he'd say he was coming to check on Martin mama. Like when the Mama Bird episode happened.
Oh yeah, not my Mama Bird. Yeah.
that would have been
Yeah.
good. But yeah,
but I can see. Only person I can see giving more bigger roles, I would say Hustle Man.
Yeah, Hustle Man. I think I would say that would have been a good one for me. Like I honestly, I think I've only seen like one, maybe two. How many episodes was he in? I feel like he was only in a few, like a handful. And I think I've only seen him in two. So I didn't see him in a lot. I saw both of the Varnell Hill episodes. There's a funny story that goes along with the Varnell Hill situation. Because I don't know if you ever heard of the comedian D-Lay. D-Lay tells a really good story about how he met Tommy Davidson like 3 or 4 different times, and he's like, yeah, he's like, that Varnell Hill character is really Tommy Davidson. Like that's really him. Like he acts like this for real. And it was just funny listening to that story. So you know the connection and the fact that I saw those 2 episodes was hilarious to me. Yeah. But yeah, the Lonnie Love and Hustle Man, I think are my votes for sure. They'd have been great. I mean, David Allen Greer is just a great comedian.
Yeah.
So he always pulls it off. I don't know who played Hustle Man, but he pulled it off.
What's the name? Tracy Morgan.
Oh, that was Tracy Morgan. Okay, I thought so. I was like, "What's that?" Tracy Morgan? But I was dismissing it.
I love Tracy. I like him though
on the whole show. So maybe twice, but I feel like I only saw it one time. So I couldn't quite remember. So yeah, definitely one for the memories. Definitely one for the memories. Yeah, definitely let us know who y'all think should be in. Should have been.
Yeah, that's Tracy Morgan. I love him. Even though I watch him in First Sunday, I love him. I love Tracy Morgan. Sure. Tracy Morgan is funny.
For sure.
I like him as a comedian.
I'm trying to find one of my other topics. So I got a few topics that I found over the last few weeks. Last couple weeks, I guess, because we were just on recently. Hold on, I think this is the one. Got a Reddit one. Okay, so this one here, I was on. I think this was not an MILS. I think it was a Am I Overreacting? And oh no, it's a text message one. It's one of my favorite subreddits is text. So this young lady, she posted this text. I'm going to pull it up here in a second, where she was talking to a person that she was going to go on a date with. And in the backstory, she was saying how, you know, she had all intents and plans in going till she just wasn't feeling good after a long day of work. So she sends this text message. Let me pull this up real quick.
Oh yeah, you got the Jesus. Yeah.
So he pulls up she sends the text to the guy saying that, you know, she had a long day at work, just beat. Do you mind if we can reschedule? I just kind of want to spend the night inside tonight. So the guy responds, hey, yes, I do mind. And no, we cannot reschedule. Tonight at 7 p.m. still works for me. See you this evening. I'll come and get you around 6:45. How are y'all responding to something like this? And do you see a world where this works or where this is acceptable?
What his response?
His response, yeah.
I looked at the time she sent this too, because I'm a stickler for not waiting to the last minute, and unfortunately, so I don't really like his response. But I've had this happen to me. I've had something where something came up and I just couldn't, like I had made plans for somebody and then unfortunately something came up and I completely, my mind blanked. It's like, can you go out? I'm like, sure. And I forgot that I had something else. I had my son's supervisor coming, my son's teacher supervisor coming. So when she comes, I usually talk to her too. So it was like, and then I didn't have somebody to replace me being in the house. And I had to cancel. And I haven't heard from him since. And I'm okay with that. Like I told you, it was fine. Whatever. However you felt about it, you're fine. I feel like she's not really, she probably had, now whether or not she's lying or not, that's neither here nor there. She told you in advance enough time that she wasn't going to make it. She wasn't really feeling good. She was tired. So even if you did mind, you could say I do mind, but I guess I understand and maybe we could set something up another time. You let me know when you're free. Not that I'm still coming to get you, because where are you coming to get me from? Like you're not like you. Right. You gonna pull up to my house and I'm just gonna be like, oh, okay, I guess I have to go. That's not how this works. People are crazy. And even I don't know, like, yeah, I don't like this. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I feel like it's yeah, no. Yeah. I don't like it. If somebody said this to me, my reply would not be nice. And I know me. Because I'm like, I gave you advance. It's 4:30, and I'm already told you that I'm tired. Like I had a long day. Like, and especially, I'm assuming before this, they talked about her profession.
Right.
So you may know her job. Mm-hmm. So you know that it could be a lot. You wouldn't know. I mean, in the conversation, I know I would tell you
either mentally stressful or physically.
And sometimes you get that way. You just, I know I talk about it on. Well, some days I come from work and I need after work nap because I need to block out whatever happened today. Like today was crazy, and I just need to lay down and take a nap and I can function. You just never know how her day went, and she's telling you that she's tired. It's been a very just long ass day, and she does not really. I can't even function to be outside and be on my best self to be out on this date with you, and you just don't give. That just show her you don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I mean, so I was looking at this, and like you said, I considered a couple of things. One being, does he feel like she's blowing him off, or that she's being dismissive of the plans that he made and things like that? But like you say, all in all, the response itself, the method, the message that he's sending definitely doesn't feel acceptable in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah,
I definitely feel like it's a poor attempt of trying to be assertive. It's a poor attempt of trying to take control of a situation. I discussed this with my wife because she usually has great insights on what people may either be thinking or how they're approaching things.
Yeah.
And, she even brought up the fact that, there was times when I was assertive about, either seeing her or doing things with her. But she said that the way I did it was more acceptable because it was more understanding, more considerate. And it also was, more of a, hey, I'll do whatever it takes to make you still feel comfortable that we're still getting together versus you're going to just do what I say. Like, I'm not about to sit here and force you to do something or make you feel like you have to do something.
It's an obligation.
Exactly. Taking the obligation out of it. And I think that's the thing. He's making it like she's obligated to conform to his demands, and that's just unacceptable. People in the comments definitely had, took issue with the response, but some were mentioning how they felt like this had something to do with some type of podcast bros type advice that this guy must have gotten that, definitely is going to not getting him any more dates. But that this is some kind of method of control and assertion. And I think it's crazy that people think that stuff like this either apply or that is acceptable. And seeing things like this, definitely it makes, goes back to the whole thing of like the dating pool has piss in it, right? That there's people who have no respect for your feelings, no respect for your just you personally. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, stuff
So
like
let
this.
me ask you a question, because I had some, like I said, I had somebody that made plans and I had to cancel, blah blah blah, whatever. So I met dude I was out, met somebody. By the time I met him, I didn't realize how drunk I was. You know, and I posted about it. You know how when you don't realize how drunk you are until you go home and see the footage.
For sure.
Yeah. Drunk. Me and my best friend we haven't had a bestest night in a long time. It's a lot of drinks happening, whatever. So I met this guy. I thought he was cute. So me being me, people don't approach me, so I approached them. Hey, dude, whatever.
Right.
I don't remember the whole conversation between me and him. He remembers it very well. So fast forward to him asking to come meet me or whatever. He was like, oh, he was telling me stuff. I'm like, I don't remember saying that, whatever, right? So I was drunk. So I'm like, I realized how drunk I was until my best friend seen me the video. I'm like, oh, I was outside just having the best time ever. Okay. So I was like, cool. So he kept telling me he wanted to come see me, whatever. I'm like, cool, we can come see. He said, when you free, I was off. I'm like, I'm off this day, whatever. I got plans, but I can, let me know about what time you plan on like coming to see me, because I'll let you know where I am. Because I was like running errands, whatever. Cool. So of course he hit me later on. This is why it got canceled. I don't have nothing to do all day except for a couple errands. I got time in between, whatever. My son comes home. That's a different story. Because then by the time he comes home, I'm at the house. So out and about taking care of business, whatever. And then I was out and about, took care of business, came home, whatever. He texted me about 4 or something. I completely forgot that the lady was coming to my house. Super forgot. So I'm like, oh shit, because she texted like, yeah, I'm on my way. I'm like, oh, what the hell, shit. Like, oh, she coming, whatever. So I'm like, oh yeah, my bad. Because by then he called me, I was cooking. So I'm like, oh yeah, my bad. He's, what you doing? He called me and I was like, I'm cooking, blah, blah, blah. He said, oh, you got a lot going on. And I said, yeah. And I just got reminded that, the supervisor for my son's teacher is coming, blah, blah. He said, all right, well, I'll catch you on the next. And I said, all right. But even in the conversation, it threw me because everybody knows how I feel about kissing. I don't kiss everybody. I don't. Right. It's just not something I do. I just think it's so I just don't kiss everybody. But he was basically, I don't want to say demanding. He was assertive about coming to kiss me. And I'm just like, yeah, I don't. Oh. The whole day I was like, yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I'm not a big kisser, blah, 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 whatever. He was like, oh, no, we're going to do that when I see you. And I'm like, no, probably not, because I just you like people.
You like,
so I'm letting you know, like, I'll give you a hug and everything else, but I'm not like kissing people. It's just not something I do. Right. So. But he kept saying it, so it was throwing me off, because I've told you how, like, I don't just have makeout sessions with people. That's not something I do, or anything, peck, none of this stuff. Like, I got people I've actually been in relationships with that I just not. I do know how to kiss. I just don't kiss everybody.
So you do know how to kiss? Okay.
Yes, I'm a very good kisser. I just don't kiss people. I just don't.
I don't know. I heard on a radio show yesterday that. You can't trust people's estimations of themselves if they don't do the thing that often.
No, I can, no, because I really don't. Like, it's been, I remember being in relationships where that's like almost holding hands for me. That's not something I do.
Dang, like, I have held hands with people. Or hold hands, that's crazy.
Yeah, but like holding hands is just get away from me. I remember I dated somebody they used to one of my exes. Like that. One of my exes, he used to try to hold my hand all the time. We used to walk through the mall, and then at one point he used to just hold my wrist because he knew I wasn't going to hold his hand. Like, and it would be like this thing that we had, because he would know as soon as he go do it, I'm like, get out of here. And I want people that, and even as far as kissing, you can't, like, unless I like kissing you, like, I be wanting to kiss people, but I don't kiss everybody. But like, you have to be, like, it's very few people that I kiss. So when I say I want to kiss you, it's just like it's a big deal because I don't kiss people. But it is people that do like kissing, right? Mm-hmm. But even so much as to say, hey, I'm about to give you a kiss, it throws me off. I don't.
Got you.
Don't fucking say it to me, because then I'm gonna just be so I'm like, ugh. Like, it's just because, like, if you're gonna do it, just do it. Don't tell me you're gonna do it because I'm gonna stop you, because now it's just like, bitch, get out of here. Like, it's weird. I'm weird. I'm weird as hell. I know I'm the weirdest person ever. But like, yeah, he was throwing me off with that because he was being assertive that he was gonna kiss me, and I'm just like, it kind of made me not want to him to come pull up and see me and say hi or whatever, and like, just talk for a little bit, because I'm like, I this man gonna try to kiss me, and now I know he's gonna do it. It's like in my brain, I'm like, then I'm being an asshole, like, get out of here. Like, how do you not offend somebody while they're trying to kiss you and you just like, get out of here?
Right.
So yeah, I don't like that. I feel like if you're gonna kiss me, don't ever tell me. Don't make it obvious. Just frankly, like you got to catch me off guard with that, because if you do it, if you tell me, it's gonna make me feel awkward and nervous and not gonna want to do it. And then I don't like kissing everybody because
Right.
But from what I've heard, I'm a very good kisser. I just don't kiss people. It's very terrible.
Yeah. No, I understand.
It's very terrible, and I don't like sloppy kisses and all that stuff. Cute stuff, yes, but like.
No, I said what?
No. Everybody knows that about me. Like, I'm not a kisser, and it's crazy because people will be like, "Oh, you got some nice tits." I'm like, I know, and I can kiss. I just don't kiss everybody.
Crazy. What up, though, Jamie?
Yeah, I'm really weird about that. But like, would you feel like that's assertive if somebody said he's gonna do something to you that you just like, no, I don't think it's gonna happen?
Well, yeah, I mean that's a type of assertiveness that just unfortunately.
Like, to me, it's a turn off.
Yeah, that won't. Well, I mean, not all assertiveness is good, right? There's not all assertive actions result in positive results. I think it's definitely, there's a fine line at times. There's ways of being assertive without being annoying. There's ways of being assertive without being making things awkward. But unfortunately, I get awkward like that. There are certain things in certain people that if you take the wrong route, you won't get the results you're looking for, and either turn them off or cause the situation to have to come to an end. So yeah, I think it's definitely something people have to think a little bit more about and not end up pissing the person off that they're dealing with. I mean, I don't know what happened with that young lady and that after she sent her response to that text, but she was adamant, like, yeah, I'm still not going. Like, that's nice that you want me to go with you, but I'm still not going, And I think that's the thing, in relationships, we have to be conscious and considerate of the other person. Me and my wife talked about that, in terms of like how sometimes there's certain things you may not like, or certain things that you may not agree with, or not even just agree with, that you may not feel that you align on with somebody, and you have to either be clear on your boundary, or make them, or make sure they understand that that's something that's, not acceptable for you, because sometimes people may not understand. They think that they're being assertive in a way that they'll change your mind or that they'll convince you.
Yeah.
And it's not about, I need to be convinced. I don't need to be convinced. I just know I don't like this. Like you say, you don't need to be kissed because you just don't like kissing. It has nothing to do with
I do like kissing.
It's
I just don't kiss everybody.
Obviously don't like kissing. We've established that right now.
I like kissing. I just don't kiss everybody.
Like kissing. That's just not on her. That's not on her. Plate, so.
But I'm like that. But like, I agree with your wife, because I feel like what is, because and it's crazy because we talked about this kind of sort of on basically a little bit on the Sex and Sunny show that got deleted. We were talking about like that as far as relationship wise, like you may like a certain thing, but it's how you present it that may throw somebody off, because if they're not used to that, it's not, or it makes them feel uncomfortable or just feels odd in a way. You got to kind of find this balance and know that, like, it's almost like what works for so-and-so might not work for you. So that may be a thing that somebody did before, but it's not going to work with you. It's a little bit different. So we have to come at it differently. Right. And I'm like that, like, not just with kissing. I'm just like that, period. I feel like flowing naturally is the way for me.
Right.
Demands or obligations feel weird. So I'm more of a go with the flow type of situation. And when it starts to be like, I don't want to say a demand or a requirement, it's very off-putting and it's not appealing anymore. But like whatever it was great. Now it's not. And like I said, kissing is one of those things where if that's what you want to do, don't tell me, because it's gonna make me feel nervous and awkward. And unless we have that rapport, like it's people that I have kissed in my lifetime that if we end up talking again or at some point in our life, they know that I actually like the fact that I kiss you. I like kissing you. So you asking me for a kiss might not be as jarring for me as somebody I don't know. Like, can you give me a kiss? Like, I don't know you niggas. Like, get out of here. Like, that's weird. Like, get out of here. Don't, So I don't know. I have my own set of problems. This is why I'm single now. But but yeah, I'm very much of I have some limits. I also know that some people do things differently. So I like to be very direct about it and very open about it. Like this is doing this will make me feel a little odd. But if I like you, we can work on it.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But it's not something that you're going to get from me walking up to you, like, give me a kiss. It's never going to happen that way. It's never going to happen that way. Like, I mean, it's just not who I am as a person. Like, I can be assertive though, because I have my assertiveness too. And if people tell me that you being assertive, I'm gonna back off a little bit too, because I don't want anybody to feel weird or uncomfortable.
Right. Yeah, I think that the comfort level is what we need to maintain, right?
Yeah.
Keeping people comfortable, making sure that they don't feel like you're overbearing or controlling, and that's the problem. And that's like what the post was showing, is that guy got to the point of control, and
yeah, he's like, I'm gonna see you at 6:45. Like, hello.
Right. I
want her not
allowed. Feel free to come through. Something to be waiting on you.
Listen, no, he's been outside sitting on the curb waiting for me to never come out.
Literally waiting, and yeah.
That just gives he already got her address. I don't like that. Mm-mm.
Well, yeah, that's the other problem. Is like, he already knows vibes.
I don't like it.
Yeah,
I don't like it at all.
All right, I got one more for us before we wrap this up.
Okay.
I want to get your thoughts on this one. This is an interesting one. Somebody posted on Twitter. Mama named it Twitter. I'm gonna keep calling it Twitter.
I haven't been on Twitter in God knows how long.
So this person posts this thing saying, why are kids raised by single dads more decent and smart in life than those raised by single mothers? So, I mean, first things first, what's your thoughts on just the topic overall? And then why do you think that this could be a possible thing? If you feel that there might be a thing about this, like a trend or some truth.
I feel like I get where they're coming from to an extent, only because I feel like men have higher standards than females, if that makes sense, right?
Okay.
Some men don't deal with a lot of stuff. Some men do. Some men sign up for the foolery, right? Whereas you see with men that are raising their kids, like as single dads, it's a little bit different. They are less likely to introduce people to their kids. Whereas I see single moms that every dude that, not all single moms, some single moms that date people that kids see everybody, right? Certain things. I feel like, because I don't want to say that because as a female, it's like a detriment to us because we already get a bad rap. But I feel like I have, because and if I'm being honest, I have seen some moms just do some stuff that I would never do. But like, I feel like I'm gonna speak for me. I have put up with some shit show of men in my life, where I've dated them for a period of time, and I want to say more so, not necessarily, no, because my daughter really, because I didn't really, like, I don't bring people too much around. People know I have kids. That's one thing. You will know that I have kids. But, like, to be in their spaces is totally different. It's a totally different situation. But my daughter has definitely seen me in unhealthy relationships. So I feel like she's seen, I don't want to say, because I've been through worse and she was too young to realize what was going on. But then again, how young are we to not realize that our parents are going through fuck shit?
Right.
Because I remember my mom dealing with some men that I was just like, girl, like girl, even though I was young, girl. So I feel like we, like I could see how people would think that, but I feel like some moms do raise good children, right?
Right.
That do well, that are decent and are and definitely smart in life. We raise our kids to be smart and decent. I think it kind of depends on the kids and what they see in life and what they choose to be in life. So it could be like, I get where they're saying this, because when you have that argument of how the standards of men and the standards of women, we accept stuff. We accept some. I think people in nature accept what I'm saying. We accept the potential versus who people are, right?
Yeah.
We do it a lot, men and women both, but I think women do it a lot more because we see who you could be, and sometimes you're just never gonna be that person. You just never get there. So it can our kids see us going through these things, so like they're feeling our feelings through us. I know when I said this plenty of times before, when I went through the worst of my depression, I felt like my son was in it with me. And that's when I started to go to therapy, because I'm like, I had to get out of it. So not that he's not smart and decent, but like, I think when we stay in certain situations, it does something to our kids. I know watching my mom go through stuff, it did something to us. So it's just, dealing with stuff that we deal with. A lot of women deal with a lot of stuff that we don't need to deal with. We tolerate a lot of stuff that we don't need to tolerate. So it can negatively affect our children, right? Because more often than not, we have our kids. When we see single parents, it's more often women than it is men, right? So they see the negative, they see the bad, they're trying to help us, and they're not really living their best kid life. So we have to be a little bit more careful with that to make sure that we are better, so we can raise better children. And sometimes you can raise your kid, and even as parents, you can raise your kid to the best of your ability and be the best children, and then sometimes they just end up messed up people. You see the people that be the kids that you raise, you make sure they had everything they need in life, learn some responsibility, learn all the stuff they need to learn, and they go out and choose to do nonsense. So it's like it's that uneven balance. Like, it depends, and at the end of the day, it's the kid's choice, especially when they get into adulthood.
True. I agree with that for sure. And that's the thing,
trying to get this one.
Yeah, being a father that was very active, and then my dad was very active in my life, I definitely see, like you said, I see the difference between how I raised my kids versus, how their mother raised them, and versus, how other people that I've seen, other women that I've seen raise their kids. I definitely see a difference, a stark difference in certain cases. Not all, but certain ones. I do want to read one of the responses to this that I thought was very poignant. This young lady was saying how she felt that men have a sense of balance when it comes to providing routine and discipline, but also support, encouragement, and show unwavering dedication to their children. Men also tend to lead with more logic than emotion, while still allowing room for their children to feel and express emotions. They also tend to be able to separate their trauma that they're healing from their responsibilities as a father. She felt that a lot of women, not all, but a large majority, don't know how to balance all these things, on top of not allowing their emotions to get the better of them. A lot of women also are jealous of their children, harbor spoken or unspoken resentment toward them for a broken home, or refuse to break the cycle of trauma in some capacity. She said, hell, some women with a partner struggle with this as well, but it can become more apparent when single. So everything that she started talking about, it just kind of really hit for me, because I do know that, even just talking about the logic thing, right? I know for a fact that I definitely raise my kids from a point of logic versus emotion, at least my emotion. I gave my kids the ability to have emotion and to express their emotions and to talk to me and tell me the things that they felt, versus just shooting that down, where I definitely saw certain situations with people with single mothers, not really either allowing that with their kids, or their emotions get so high or ran high that, it affects the way that they're parenting that child. You know, the things that I want for my kids, I look at it from a standpoint of like, how is this going to improve your life? How is this going to do this, that, and the third, versus how I could see where, you know, a mother could approach that a little bit differently, especially from, you know, either an emotional standpoint or just kind of just a different standpoint, just a different way of doing things. So, you know, I definitely can see how there can be differences in how that focus or how that methodology can differ. You know, are we raising better children than women? You know, to your point, it's subjective, right? Because we have situations where it really is just the mother or a lot of mothers versus how many dads are really single dads that are doing this, you know. And how do you define that? You know, because I definitely, you know, feel that there's situations, you know, even like she was saying in her response, she was saying, you know, there's some have a partner and have these struggles and these ways that they're raising their kids different than their father is, and they're in a partnership or they're in a marriage or they're, you know, in a dating situation that they are raising these kids together but doing it in a different manner. You know, do you consider that still being a single parent? Do you consider this?
I have friends that were raised with their fathers, but they basically was like their dad was in the house. They didn't really do nothing.
Exactly.
He just was there.
Yeah. You
and
know,
it was like, and I feel like that's more of a detriment to be like, I know, like I said, I know I was raised in a 2-parent household, which is like, so for me, I was raised in a 2-parent household.
Yeah, and I know my situation. I raised my kids directly and more actively, and you know, mainly because that was the example I was given. My dad was very active. You know, not to take away from what my mom did, but my dad was the active parent in my life. You know, for a long time. You know, I think from the age of like 9 or 10 years old when he first retired, he was like there all the time, taking us places, doing things with us. I spent, you know, 90% of my, you know, in-home parenting time with my father versus anybody else, you know.
Yeah, and it's crazy because, like I said, I was raised in a 2-parent household, but it was extremely dysfunctional at times. So like, and that's what, like, when you grow up in a 2-parent household, people are like, oh, it's better. No, I know people that are in a 2-parent household that are raised in a 2-parent household, but like have hella toxic problems because the household was toxic. It was one of those things where we just gonna stay for the kids, but we don't even like each other in real life. So we always having problems. So even if you're raised in a 2-parent household, this is the stuff you in. So you could still not come out your best self because this is the situation you came from was toxic. So, and like for me, we had really good times, but we also had some really crazy times. So it was just like that up and downhill battle. And like I said, on plenty of shows, I learned what I didn't want by watching what I was raised in. Did that benefit me in long term? No, because I'm raised hyper dependent and independent. So now I have to learn. So now, like my relationship, I have to make sure that I'm allowing the man to be a man in the relationship, because at the same time, I'm terrified because I don't want him to control me.
Right.
Because this is what I was raised. You know what I'm saying? Like this is why I said this.
Yeah.
So
as soon as you see a pattern, you're like, wait a minute, either
so
stop
it's
it or check out or whatever.
Yeah. So it throws me. So I'm like, in this thing, like, but then it's like, it's so many factors in this situation. So like I said, where I learned what not to do, did I still do a great job at parenting my kids? Yeah, I make sure they were okay. This, that, and the third, like both my kids, I got, 2 of them. And my daughter, we fuss about my parenting style because I wasn't, I'm not good with emotions. So to this point, I'm not speaking for myself. I wasn't good with dealing with her emotions because when I hugged my mom, it was like, what you want? So when she gets in her feelings, like, it's like, hey, I can be there, but like, I don't really know how to be there for her because I wasn't raised in that manner to be able to be there for her. And like I said, I was raised in a 2-parent household. That wasn't our strong suit. Did we know our mom loved us? Absolutely. But at the same time, did we emotionally connect? No, because we had to check I grew up where feelings was like when you hug your mom, you wanted something. It wasn't like I just want to love my mom and say, this is what I'm feeling like. It wasn't that. So of course I may have not did this one thing my mom did, but I definitely got that part from her. So my daughter can say like, Mom, you didn't care about my feelings. I care to an extent, but I made sure you were taken care of, So like these are things that to that is, thing. Luckily I wasn't jealous of my child. I thankfully, but it's a lot that I feel like I could have done better as a parent. It's a lot of spaces where I could have done better. But for the most part, early on her early years, I was in survival mode. So it was like, I got to make sure we good because we don't got nobody else. So it's just
and that's the other thing is when you're in survival mode or when you're struggling with certain other situations and issues, and then you're trying to still raise a kid.
I'm not justifying it, but it was those things where I had to sacrifice some stuff to make sure I got where I needed to be to make sure it was provided for. And luckily, when I had kid number 2, I was well better off. Still not good with emotions, but but I'm trying. I'm a work in progress.
I would say, hey, work in progress. It's all that matters.
But I feel like I said, it's subjective to raising a better kid because sometimes if even that single dad is not right and not together, he could be a detriment to that child. Like it's almost like having a deadbeat dad in the house, So it depends. Like I said, I know people with different types of backgrounds, how they were raised, whether 2-parent household, raised by mom, raised by dad, grandma, aunties, all these different things that I grew up around. So I got to see it all. And, some people I know on a personal level, so I know where they're at in life and where they feel like they can fix things in their life and stuff like that. And this is always like, listen, at the end of the day, when that child grows up, that child has a choice to be the person they're going to be. You could have given them every tool they could get. Who they're going to be is who they want to be, regardless of how you raise them.
Right.
So you really can't harbor. Like if I raise my daughter to be self-sufficient, take care of herself, and be responsible, whatever she chooses to do with her life, I'm going to be able to try to help her. But at the end of the day, she this is what she was raised on. She wasn't raised to be unproductive. She was raised to be a productive person and make sure she could survive on her own, whether she had help or not. Like to make sure you're still good. Because at the end of the day, people can get up and go. You still got to live. So I want you to be self-sufficient to that in that regard. So it's one of those things. So like you at the end of the day, those kids have to choose what they want to do with their lives. They grown, and you could still be there to help them, but they still have to make the choices.
Yeah, they definitely still are responsible for their own outcomes. Yeah, and hopefully they take that part serious with all the lessons learned from that active parent. So yeah, indeed. Well, Sonny, thanks again. Everybody in the comments, appreciate y'all commenting. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Make sure you get over to gftradio.creator-spring.com. Get some merchandise. Get some t-shirts, some sweatshirts. Make sure you get some sweatshirts because it's getting cold.
You guys do
that. I need to. My sweatshirts are still good, but I need to get some more t-shirts. So I'm gonna go get me some more t-shirts.
I think I'm gonna get me some sweatshirts because I think I only got 2. So I got more shirts than anything. I just need sweatshirts now, hoodies and stuff. It's hoodie season.
Yeah, for sure. Also, make sure you get over to gftradioshow.com for all of our socials, all our links, for our social media pages, as well as the link to the Join the Conversation group. A lot of great topics over there, a lot of great conversations happening. Make sure you guys get over there. Listen free on demand 24/7, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, all your favorites, audio platforms, as well as Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube for all your favorite video platforms. Sonny, tell the folks where they can find you.
Y'all can find me at the Podcast Link Philly show, November 29th. Caught them tickets. The link is in my bio on Instagram. Follow me at IamSonny_D, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Threads. I'm on TikTok too, but I never check it, so Threads. Visit me at unreservedlyme.com. I just posted my reel on Instagram, and the link is in the bio. So yeah. See y'all 29th November.
For sure. All right. Make sure y'all get over with Hype. We haven't had a chance to get Hype on in a minute, but shout out to Hype. He's up in the comments. Make sure y'all hit up Hype at I Am Hype on IG, Twitter, and Threads. How to Hustle Podcast with Hype. Make sure you go check out some of his old shows, some of his archives, as well as Custom Muscle World and H2H Cleaners. Dame couldn't make it tonight as well. Make sure you go hit him up on his gaming channels under the Level Up on IG and Channel21 on Xbox and Twitch. And it's your boy Willie Styles in the building. Get at me everywhere at Willie Styles on IG, Threads, and Twitter. I don't really post much on Threads, but I'm on Threads, so make sure you post. I'll like it. We'll do that. Willie.Styles on Snapchat and TikTok. StylesRadio.com for all the hot tracks that I'm listening to. WillieStyles.info for all my links. All right, everybody have a great night, great week, and we will catch y'all.
Yo, it's your boy Dame here.
Hey guys, it's your girl Sunny D.
Yo, it's your boy Smooth from the GFT Radio Network.
What up, though? It's your boy Willie Styles in the building.
Join us Mondays at 10 p.m. live on Twitch, YouTube, and our Facebook. And if you miss us, don't worry. You can catch it on our website, gftradioshow.com. And if you feel like talking to us every day, join our Facebook group.
At Join the Conversation, the group where you can discuss all kinds of topics.
Catch me also, Fans Perspective, Dope Sports Show. Holla at your boy.
You can cop some merchandise over at our store, teespring.com/stores/GFT Radio. You can get t-shirts, sweatshirts, masks, and even more.
Next time on GFT Radio, what are we talking about? Join the conversation to find out.
Make sure you get at us on GFTRadioshow.com for all of our audio and video playbacks, as well as links to all of our social media sites.